Let's see who is here. Loud and clear. James is here. Lance, Mary, Dave, David, Bill Brandner. All right, we love it. I'm going to go to the race dog. It's going to be a service dog for my boy with his traumatic brain injury. And we're going to do the best we can to help him recover. With that said, what I want to go over today, people have asked me, what kind of rebound are we expecting in individual portfolios? I know Jim asked me that, and I know Lance, you asked me that. And the short answer is we do things by individual portfolios. We run things by individual stocks, right? So I'm just going to make this as simple as I can for you. We're going to go our stock. We're going to, I can't spell. Come on. Let's go stock. Let's go yesterday's price. We're going to go 12-month high. And we're going to put rebound amount. And I'm also going to go in here on stock. I'm going to stick number of shares. And I'm pretty much doing just a single portfolio. But if we were looking at Apple right now, a lot of people of Apple have 500 shares. Yesterday's price, we closed at 174.55. Now, there are some all-time highs we can go to. I probably choose not to do that. But all I'm doing is I'm just going to go to a chart. And I'm going to get my GoToWebinar stuff out of the way so I can see everything. Going to try to get it out of the way. And I'm just typing in Apple. The most recent high I have is at 182.19. So we have 182.19, and my rebound amount is nothing more than taking the 182.19, and give me a quick second as I'm looking for an easier way to do this than on my phone. But just taking that 182.19, subtract out 174.55, and you have a dollar figure of an increase of $7.64. You multiply that by the 500 shares, and for Apple, you really only have a rebound of $3,820. That is our rebound price, or what you could expect on Apple into the end of the year. And it's really simple how I keep going through this to understand what's going on. But those are the short answers, and it's that simple. If we went to Boeing, a lot of people that have Boeing have 500 shares, or we have some leaf long calls. Yesterday's price on Boeing was 167.20. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit interesting. If we pull up our Boeing and just look for the most recent 12-month high, our price on Boeing sits at 233.94. In fact, I might just pull this out just a little bit more so we catch everything. August of last year, actually, 241.15. So 241.15. And again, if I take nothing more than the 241.15, subtract out the 167.20, that leaves us a pretty neat price of $73.95. If you were to multiply that by your 500 shares, all of a sudden we have a potential rebound or profit of $36,975. And what I wanted to do today is just go through these type of positions. Most people that have Bank of America have 1,000 shares. Yesterday's price was $36.41. Where it was trading most recently we have $49.58. And all I'm doing is going to the stock charts and bringing up where the stock was previously. $49.58. And I just forgot what it was. $49.58. If you look at that difference, all I'm taking is the $49.58, minusing the $36.41. We have a total of $13.17. If you multiply that by 1,000 shares, you have $13,170. Now, I don't necessarily want to go through all of them, but I do want to pick some that I think are pretty important that are our core holdings. I could do Baidu. I definitely want to do Disney. I want to do Ford. Let's see, what else could I go to? Let's do JP Morgan. That's a bank one a lot of people are at. I'm going to do Coke because a couple people are in that one. Let's do Meta, the old Facebook. Let's do Micron because some of you are in Micron. Let's do Starbucks. We've got some core holdings in Starbucks for some smaller ones. Square. And let's finish up with Under Armour and Visa. So those are the ones that we're going to look at. Most people that are in Baidu, again, have 1,000 shares or we're in that leap long call. Baidu yesterday closed at 132.64. Kevin, how can you look at last year or the last year and what's your expectation that, hey, somehow these guys can come back? Well, they've been doing better year over year. They're already, for all intents and purposes, delisted because they're an ADR, which just is a certificate of deposit because they're primary listed in Hong Kong. They don't run the same risk as Alibaba, Tencent, some of these other companies. So not much has changed for Baidu. If I was to pull up Baidu, in the last year, we really only have them in August, so let's go to 182.60. Well, Kevin, you said Baidu can get to 350. Agreed, but most importantly, the first level in the current year with only 4 or 5 months left, September, October, November, December, half of August, is just to reclaim the highs. But if you take your 182.60, you subtract the 132.64, we have $49.96. For most people that have 1,000 shares, we're talking about $49,960 is a realistic end of the year expectation of where your portfolio can gain that money back in Baidu. We have Disney, right? Everyone's in Disney. It's had a great rebound for this year. 122.81. That was Disney's price yesterday. Where can Disney get to? Well, Kevin, they're doing bad movies. They're doing woke movies. They have cartoon characters kissing cartoon characters. It doesn't matter. And unfortunately, everyone's still going to their movies. And they just almost had another billion-dollar movie. 187.58 is the most recent yearly high. 187.58. A lot of us have Disney. If we just do the subtraction here yet again, 187.58 minus 122.81, that gives us $64.77 by year end. That is $64,770 that can be injected back into your portfolio. Most people that have Ford have 1,000 shares. Ford finished at 1603. Not a bad price from where Ford was trading down at $9 earlier in the year. But where can it realistically get to? What are we looking at for an opportunity on Ford? It traded at 25.32 at the beginning of the year. In the most recent 12 months, 25.32. I actually thought it traded as high as 25.87. So that 25.87 may have been intraday, closing at 25.32. 25.32. Again, we take 25.32. We subtract out, if I could just work my calculator, we subtract out 1603. It is an opportunity to gain $9.29. And again, none of this is rocket science. This is just simple math. $9,290 is a potential upside we have on some of these small accounts with Ford. JP Morgan's more of a 500 share one, right? JP Morgan traded 122.59 yesterday. Yes, it can still get up to above 200. Fundamentally, it's there. In the short term, though, looking at this year, you only go back to the most recent highs over a 12-month period of time. JP Morgan, 169.17. 169.17 is JP Morgan's most recent high. 169.17. 169.17. Subtracting out 122.59. We're talking about a difference of $46.58. When you multiply that by 500, again, we're basically looking at another 23,290. I'm going to keep going through. People that have Coke normally have about 500 shares. Coke hasn't had the downturn this year. I guess Coke is now considered a recession-proof stock. But if you look at Coke, you're going to notice something, that there's not a whole lot of movement in it, right? 66.72 are the highs. 66.72. You're not going to have a whole lot of growth in Coke. In fact, Coke, for the most part, is just a dividend-paying stock. No real growth in it. It's $1.84. You multiply that by 500. That is why you're looking at maybe $920 potential growth in Coke. Coke is one you would start to do those short calls against to create some type of revenue to get to make it worthwhile having Coke sitting in your portfolio. Meta's a neat one. Meta's also about 500 shares. This is another big one where we have some big upside opportunity in Meta. If I pull up Meta, 384.33. Kevin, is that really an opportunity? Is it really an opportunity for Meta to get back to those numbers? Well, it got there once, right? Everything is still the same except they're spending more money on their next phase, the metaverse. 384.83 minus 174.85 where it closed yesterday. There is $209.98 in Meta. If you multiply that by 500, you have 104,990 potential dollars of profit in Meta. Micron. Most people in Micron have 600 shares. Traded 61.62 yesterday. When you look at Micron's high, $98.12 was the highs earlier. Huge opportunity in Micron. The difference between these two right now is over $30. It's $36.50 apparently. If you multiply that by 600 shares, we're looking at $21,900. Let me get through these last four, and it'll be pretty interesting to see as I total all these up where these opportunities are. So you guys can hopefully start to understand, hey, I'm starting to see where Kevin's going at, where these opportunities are at. 88.35 is where Starbucks most recently traded. Starbucks. It's where it traded yesterday. I'm sorry. All these numbers I'm coming up with were the close of yesterday. 118.13, 12-month high. 118.13. If you hear that dog in the background, it's getting in trouble with Brady. He's probably killing my dog, but little things to make sure I can talk to you guys, right? $29.78 times 1,000 shares, $29,780 there. Square's another big one. Square's kind of interesting. It's also, most people own 1,000 shares of Square or 1,000 shares through a leap long call option. It gives you the ability to own the stock. Its stock price, $289.23. And it's actually out here, $289.83. Most recent price of Square, $80.33. Can it get there? Yes, it can. Another big one that is a huge opportunity, $289.83. Subtract out your $80.33. We're talking about $209.50. which translate into 209,500. Under Armour, some of the smaller accounts, another big one with huge opportunity. Well, Kevin, retail kind of sucks right now. I understand. But look at where Under Armour has traded within the last 12 months. $27.28. $27.28. $27.28. Subtract out where it's currently at, $9.95. We're looking at a price target of $17.33 difference. On 1,000 shares, we're looking at $17,330. And the last one I'm going to do, Visa. Most people at Visa only have 800 shares. Visa traded at 214.52 yesterday. Their yearly high, which is your realistic expectation of where it can get in the very near future, 235.29. Technically, you can go back to August to August. I don't know what that is. Let's give me another couple months. $250.55. $250.55. Price difference, $250.55 minus $214.52 is a whopping $36.03. Times 800 shares is where the majority of people have that one. We're looking at 28,824. So, total rebound opportunity for these stocks. And I know I'm just generalizing it. All you're going to do is take a look at these dollar amounts, right? You're just going to look at where the stock traded in the last 12 months, if not even the last 6 months. And all you're doing, 3603 times 800. All you're doing is you're adding the Visa, 28,000. You're adding the Under Armour, 17,330. You're adding Square, 209,500. You're adding the 29,780 for Starbucks, 21,900 for Micron, 104,990 for Meta, the Facebook, 920 for Coke, 23,290 for JP Morgan. Ford still has $9,290 opportunity in it. 64,770 for Disney. Baidu, 49,960. 13,170 for Bank of America. Boeing, 36,975. And Apple, $3,820. Potential opportunity for these core holdings in these stocks, $614,519. That is what we're looking at for a potential account to hold these positions. If you were to hold all of these positions, you have a $614,519 opportunity between now and December. This is how we're coming out with our numbers. This is what we have been trying to show or explain to some of you, and you're asking, well, what's the opportunity here? What's the opportunity here? This is just the end of the year opportunity. A lot of these stocks can go higher. Apple, a high of 182.19. Apple could definitely trade in that 225 to 240 range by the end of the year. fully valued closer to 209 to 219 or 207 to 219. Boeing traded as high as $400 back in the day. To get to 241, realistically, end of the year, it has a better chance of getting to around 280 to 300. That's where Boeing can get to. JP Morgan, Kevin, only $169. I remember when JP Morgan traded in the 220 range. That's where it can get to. There's a lot of opportunity here above and beyond this. But if you were to ask me, hey, go over these core holdings, what is the rebound opportunity between now and the end of the year? This is the number I would stick with. If you held all of these core holdings, you have a $614,519 rebound opportunity. Are there any questions to what I was explaining or showing here today? The neat thing is a lot of these we've added some extra shares. And not only that, we are cash heavy. We can continue to add more shares to certain stocks like Bank of America. We'll look at it shortly here to add some more shares of stock there. JP Morgan, the same thing. Square, the same thing. Under Armour, the same thing. Visa, the same thing. Well, Kevin, you're kind of talking about financials right now. Yes, with the inverted yield curve, financials give us a better opportunity. Because we're cash heavy, we probably lean to some of those. Any questions? Kevin, how did you make it so simple? It's not simple. It's just the numbers. It's just realistic numbers for how the stock market goes. Kevin, why am I not putting it out to 12-month period of time? Because we're working in 2022. If I went to a 12-month period of time, it would go back to potential all-time highs, which would make it look even better. But I'm trying to set expectations, realistic expectations. Yes, this could be double that. It could be $1 million too, especially if you're going back to some all-time highs. But I'm just focusing on this year, 2022. For these core holdings, that's a realistic return by the end of the year if you were to hold these core holdings in these amounts. Any questions for you guys? If not, I'm going to sign off. We got to get Brady off to an airport. Hopefully this was helpful so you guys can understand my numbers and where I'm coming up with them. I don't just pick pie in the sky numbers, but it's pretty interesting because we had both you, Lance, and both Kohler asked the same question. So I thought if you guys were asking, why not give you guys another understanding of just where you guys can get to. Mathematically, if you were to add all this in, you'd be looking at a 30% return in what would be deemed a flat 0% return on the S&P. So that's what we'd be looking at this year if the rebound came around. You guys would be sitting at roughly at a 30% return in a flat market for the year. All right, I see no other questions coming in. Guys, have a great Wednesday. I apologize for being late. I hope this was important or helpful for you. I always have the fun of kind of figuring these things out, right? Keith and I aren't allowed just to make numbers up. We have to come up with these numbers and calculate them. I do hope this was helpful for you. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. And thank you, Lance. Yes, you guys both asked these questions. I kind of roundabout did it for you, but I thought if you two had these questions, I'm sure others would have the same question. So I'm trying to make sure it's taken care of and that you guys are covered. Figured if you had them, someone else definitely would have them as well. All right, You guys take care. Have a good one, and I will talk with you later. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.